Good evening and welcome to ProLIVE. We are here celebrating National Vitamin C Day. Yes, today is our day. Here at SkinCeuticals, you know that we are the pioneers of our vitamin C, and what better day to celebrate than today, a National Vitamin C Day. We have had 3 broadcasts, or this is our 3rd broadcast from Birmingham, Alabama. It has been beautiful. It's just a beautiful backdrop for everything celebratory, and I had an opportunity to host earlier 2 of our shows. We had such great information and such wonderful exchange. But tonight, here at Dermatology and Laser of Alabama, I am joined by the fabulous, the wonderful, the glorious Dr. Sarah Sawyer, who is going to be my co-host for this evening. Dr. Sawyer has been in practice for quite a while. I'm going to let her tell you her story. She is absolutely the perfect partner for us, as she is so incredibly knowledgeable, interested, and passionate about antioxidants. So who could we find better than Dr. Sarah Sawyer? Hi, Dr. Sawyer.
Hi, Marilyn.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome to our practice. We're so happy to have you, and we are so honored to be the location for National Vitamin C Day. So I'm Dr. Sarah Sawyer. I started this practice almost 15 years ago.
Wow.
And at that time, I was a board-certified dermatologist, primarily interested in cosmetic dermatology and the anti-aging scenario. And I did my training right here in Alabama, other than my procedural training that I did in Southern California. So I came right back here, practiced for many years, but then I guess you could say I had a midlife crisis and wanted more training. I wanted to know more of the story about aging. So I did an integrative medicine fellowship and got board certified in that in 2015. Beautiful. So the more that I learned about antioxidants and their value in not just the skin, but in the entire body. And, 10 or 15 years ago, we really switched our thinking to know that aging and most illnesses are caused by inflammation and the aging of tissue. So it was a natural partnership to want to be a flagship store for the Antioxidant Authority.
Oh, well, I am so glad that you mentioned that we are the Antioxidant Authority. We don't often have an opportunity to brag on ourselves, but this is our day, right?
It is.
This is the National Vitamin C Day, and we are celebrating all night. But we have some exclusive offers to really hone in and show off our antioxidants. We have 3 different exclusive offers. We have one for anti-aging, we have a second for discoloration, and we have a third for oily or blemish-prone skin. We have really made this very simple. Everybody gets the supporting actors or the supporting stars to complement their antioxidant for today. The only thing that we ask you to do is to fairly evaluate what your goals are, what your desires are in terms of your skin health, and what is it that you're looking to correct to a certain degree, right?
Right.
We talk a lot about vitamin C for SkinCeuticals being that preventative step. And we also know that it comes with a ton of benefit as well. Tonight, everybody will have an opportunity to, as I mentioned, evaluate their own skin, determine what's going to be best for them. CE Ferulic for that anti-aging. We just know it's the gold standard. Everybody loves. Let us see in the chat how much you love CE Ferulic, because I know you're out there. Everyone has given us rave reviews over CE Ferulic. We also have that really specific patient that is going to deal with maybe some excess color in the skin. And that person is going to be a perfect candidate for, I think this is your favorite.
It's my personal favorite.
Floritin CF. And so we really are going to let Dr. Sawyer get into some of the nitty gritty about Floritin CF in just a moment. But that is for discoloration uneven skin tone, people who just want to balance out that skin. And last but not least, we have really considered all skin types, all skin conditions, all skin concerns, whether you are male, female, whether you are 18 or 80. We know that there are some things that just don't naturally go away for some, right? And so we have our oily and blemish prone patients who need a special antioxidant of their own, and that choice would be Silymarin CF. In your exclusive offer tonight, everyone will get microexfoliating scrub to really polish and cleanse the palate, leaving it fresh and available for maximum absorption of our antioxidant serums. We are going to treat the delicate eye area and lip area with our AOX Plus eye gel and antioxidant lip repair. And then we have some deluxe sample sizes of one, our daily brightening UV defense, which I know you're going to talk a little bit about the importance of wearing an SPF. And then we have a nighttime antioxidant solution as well, resveratrol BE. Sound pretty good?
Total package.
It's the total package. So we're going to have this preventative antioxidant coverage from head to décolleté, and we get to treat specialty areas, eye and lip, and one of my personal favorites, we get a gold bag.
It's a great bag.
Isn't it a beautiful bag?
I think one may turn up missing later.
It might, just two maybe.
Or two.
So we joke about how much I love a bag. SkinCeuticals has great bags.
They do.
We have been able to fit all of our nice little antioxidants into this beautiful gold SkinCeuticals signature bag for National Vitamin C Day. It just reminds me so much of the gold that's in the bottle.
Right.
Yeah. And we're not stopping there, are we?
No.
Nope. We've got one other thing. So don't throw away your box. Don't throw away your packaging. You're going to get a special gift certificate so you can come and see a qualified physician at our flagships or our skin labs across the nation. Someone like Dr. Sarah Sawyer would be a grand idea. If you are right here in the Birmingham area, you'll get $25 towards a targeted treatment when you come in and see one of our qualified physicians. You can find that at SkinCeuticals.com, and you can go to our physician locator, and it will bring up all of our aesthetic professionals in your area. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about Dr. Sawyer and her fabulous practice. We have a really special gift from Dr. Sawyer. So usually for ProLIVE, you're only able to get these exclusive offers during this 1 hour broadcast. You've given an extra special gift for those of you who are in Birmingham and want to pop in because you're going to want to come to this fabulous location. We're going to show you what it looks like in just a moment. But when you come in here, you're not going to want to leave. So the first 20 people who are in the local area here in Birmingham to come in to see Dr. Sawyer, she's going to give you an additional gift to what you will get with your exclusive offer tonight.
That's right. First 20.
First 20. When it's up, it's up.
It's up. So don't come now.
Don't come right now. We won't let you in. We have like security now. But if you can just come on in maybe tomorrow
tomorrow would be
next week, early next week, but only while supplies last. So if you are not the first 20, please just come and take advantage of the opportunity that you have here. All right. So Dr. Sawyer, we had the great pleasure of touring your space a little bit earlier. I think we have some footage that we can bring up. And can you tell us just a little bit about what it means to be here at Dermatology and Laser of Alabama and what it means to be a flagship?
I think our practice has a really unique feel, and I'm told that. That's not just me talking. I'm told that by a lot of patients. We have an extremely warm, welcoming staff.
Absolutely.
And really, it's all about the people. This place would be nothing if it wasn't for the great people that work in it. And so we have a phenomenal team. One of the most notable things about our practice is that We have several professionals, and we have we have 4 estheticians.
Wow.
There's me, of course, and then 4 laser technicians.
Wow.
And even our front desk starts the process of education and helpfulness. You won't get a sales pitch from us. I can't stand a sales pitch myself.
Yeah.
And I don't like giving them out. We like to be the resource to educate.
Yes.
To help educate. And we feel like all the right decisions are made that way if it comes from education instead of sales. And it's hard to ask somebody to use products unless we understand them ourselves and can explain why.
Yes.
And certainly SkinCeuticals makes that very easy. They're great at training. My staff is really honed in on all of the different active ingredients, what they do, what's appropriate. So really anyone in our practice is a perfect person to ask about skincare.
And I really love that you are our first flagship in Alabama. And, when we came to visit, immediately what Dr. Sawyer is describing is what we experienced. There was just this warm welcome and exchange. And I think that speaks to the type of partners that we have for flagships. Can you just tell us what is different about a flagship versus just going into any clinical dermatology practice?
Sure. A lot of the flagships are aesthetic practices. Mm-hmm. The flagships are all headed up by dermatologists or plastic surgeons. We call ourselves core specialists.
Core specialists, I love it.
Core specialists in aesthetics. So we're very fortunate to be the first in Alabama to be offered this, and it was a natural partnership because SkinCeuticals is so great about teaching the science, understanding the science of the formulations, and we were so into that to begin with. So it's been a great partnership. It's been a huge honor, and it was really one of the best decisions I've made in my career to partner with SkinCeuticals.
Aww.
I can say that after being in practice almost 20 years.
Well, we appreciate you, and thank you so much for partnering with us.
Thank you.
And I think that you're just such a wonderful example of the type of physician that we look to partner with, and why it's so important for us to have these educational experiences during ProLIVE so our viewers can see people just like you, know how to connect, learn how to use their products properly, and what other sort of complementary or integrated skincare services they can receive. We know that you're really big on some lasers.
Yes.
Sounds like you have
we
a
have
lot
a
of
couple
lasers.
of lasers.
And we know our beloved CE Ferulic
Yes.
goes so very nicely and complements those laser treatments. But we have some footage of you doing, I believe, a consultation with one of your patients earlier.
This was
we can bring that up. And speaking of using CE Ferulic, we use it post-laser and see really great results. I'll let you speak to more of that in a moment. But this young lady happened to have a chemical peel. And you want to talk about how you walked her through using CE Ferulic post-chemical peel?
Right. Well, it's certainly, she had a great result from the chemical peel. She came in for one final check. We talked about how her skin peeled for a few days. Her skin was left just a little bit pink. She still had a little bit of pink going on her chin.
Okay.
But she was so thrilled with the results, which is always heartwarming for us.
Yes.
And we wanted to talk about maintenance, keeping this result. And CE Ferulic is the very first thing that I grabbed for her because I talked to her about how vitamin C helps keep pigment away and helps make the collagen more dense. And she was very interested, and we went through how to use it.
Yes.
And I think after having that conversation, she realizes the value of protecting her investment.
Awesome. And I'm so glad that you mentioned protecting your investment, because we cannot have National Vitamin C Day here at SkinCeuticals without talking about our founding scientist, Dr. Sheldon Pinnell. And we were just speaking so highly of Dr. Pinnell and all of his years of research. We always just love to share why it's so important to pick a product or pick a line like SkinCeuticals. There's a reason that we're the #1 medical skincare brand in the entire world. There's a reason that we are the antioxidant authority, and it starts with the heritage. It starts with the brand heritage. We talk a lot about the legacy that Dr. Pennell left behind. And for those of you who may be new and are maybe in the chat saying, what's the big deal about Dr. Pennell? Well, a lot. He was such a distinguished professor. He was a collagen researcher and chemist. He was a dermatologist. I'm sure you can appreciate that. And he changed the face of antioxidants. And I know that you were studying antioxidants and the benefits that you receive internally, but we established this National Vitamin C Day in 2019 because we are the antioxidant authority. We were like, listen, we've been pioneers all along. It's time for us to educate everyone about the importance of using vitamin C topically. Dr. Sheldon Pennell also held 10 patents. Is that a big deal?
Yes.
It's a huge deal.
Yes, ma'am.
And the one that really stands out, the one that we really speak about a lot, is that patent that refers to stabilizing that solution of L-ascorbic acid and the Duke parameters that define the formulation standards, if you will, that allow us to have that maximum absorption of all the benefits that vitamin C can bring. Yeah.
Right. The Duke parameters were really where it all started, and it really began that gold standard. Vitamin C has a lot of different forms, and they're not all equal. So saying that you're using a vitamin C can mean that you're using pretty much, there's so many different formulations that aren't stable.
Right, like esters and things that you may not be able to see really viable in the skin.
Right, and so the first parameter was figuring out, the form that was most stable, and that was L-ascorbic acid, and it was the form that was best absorbed by the skin.
Pure L-ascorbic acid,
Purity.
100%. That first P is purity, absolutely.
Right.
And then we found that the skin really loved the concentration or the percentage of that pure L-ascorbic acid from 10 to 20%.
Right.
Can you explain to our viewers why we are not out here trying to be trendy and follow some of the other brands that are advertising and promoting that they have those higher percentages or concentration of L-ascorbic acid?
Well, in this situation, higher doesn't mean optimal. And I think the key that he found so many years ago was that between 10 and 20%, it's absorbed best. There is a plateau.
Yes.
There is a plateau. Once the skin is saturated with it, it can't absorb anymore. And so higher percentages can lead to irritation.
Irritation and a waste, just a complete waste of product. And so we have found that magic formulation standard that we followed from Dr. Pennell's 30 plus years of research, clinical studies, the fact that he studied on all skin conditions, he was looking to prevent skin cancer, really just leaving such a very strong legacy. And that last P for us is pH. Can you explain why this 2.0 to 3.5 pH is important to you for a cosmetic dermatologist?
Well, it just pairs with the skin really well. The skin pH runs between 4.5 and 5.5. And through his research, he found that this lower pH of the L-ascorbic acid was best absorbed and best paired so that it absorbs and matches up well.
Yes, absolutely. So we have this foundation, if you will. And I want to say to everyone that I said earlier that everyone is an antioxidant person. I made people
Absolutely.
Take a pledge.
Yes.
So tonight I want you to say I am an antioxidant person and that there is an antioxidant answer from SkinCeuticals that is right for me. You want to make sure that you have an opportunity, as we are talking this evening, to make sure you're dropping your favorite antioxidant into your shopping cart. Remember, we have 3 exclusive offers this evening. Everyone is going to get the same supporting actors or the supporting products. We're going to have micro exfoliating scrub, antioxidant or AOX plus eye gel, antioxidant lip repair. For our daytime SPF protection, we have daily brightening UV defense SPF 30. And then we are even going to give you a nighttime antioxidant solution in resveratrol BE. So all we're asking is that you make a determination about what your skincare needs are, what your goals are. Remember, whether you are male, female, 18, 80, somewhere in between, we have a solution for you. We've considered it all. Yeah. We also have our great gold bag and our $25 towards a targeted treatment to come and maybe get a chemical peel.
It's a great start.
It's a wonderful start. I want to talk about how we're going to make the selection, because really all we're going to do is slot in one of our antioxidant serums. So we're going to start by cleansing and exfoliating with micro exfoliating scrub. Once we rinse that, then we're going to use 4 to 5 drops, or 5 to 6 maybe if we're going into the décolleté area. And I want us to talk a little bit about CE ferulic. I know that you love it. I love it. Who is the ideal person for CE ferulic?
I think of a patient with slightly dry skin, maybe normal skin to slightly dry, somebody who is concerned about skin cancer and about aging.
Yes.
Who wants the best prevention of aging. And I meet with so many people who didn't know, and it's upsetting to some that there were all these things to do preventatively.
Yes.
And I have a lot of treatments, but none are as good as prevention.
They say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Right.
Yes.
And it's also less expensive in this office.
I am so sure.
Yes.
I want to just show CE ferulic on your hand and mine. As I mentioned earlier, that lovely golden color just reminds me so much of this prevention that we're getting from oxidative stress and those environmental stressors, particularly when we're talking about pollution, maybe even some internal stress.
Right.
What else? Diet. What things cause this stress on the skin? And why is it so important to use our antioxidants every single day?
Well, free radicals are our enemies, and free radicals are created all the time out in the world. The ultraviolet light, you mentioned environment pollution, certainly stress, which we've all had in the last couple of years.
Yes.
So free radicals are basically molecules that have unpaired electrons. If you think back to your science classes, unpaired electrons create this upset environment, and antioxidants come in and donate electrons so that they stop these wrecking bombs from ruining our collagen, our elastin, our DNA. So it really just coats the area, sort of just blankets it.
Nice.
And protects it.
And so that is why it is critical to use it every single day.
Every day.
And I know that we talked about using CE ferulic post-laser treatment. What kind of results have you seen with that for those of you who may be coming in to see Dr. Sawyer, or if you go to SkinCeuticals.com? If you don't live in Birmingham and can't quite get to Dr. Sawyer, we want you to partner with one of our flagships or skin labs that are in your area. What kind of results have you seen personally?
Well, I find a lot of what Dr. Weibel found in her study, that when you are recovering from a laser, you have a lot of collagen remodeling going on. And there is nothing better for collagen remodeling than vitamin C.
Right.
Vitamin C recruits fibroblasts, which are our friends.
Yes.
Fibroblasts.
We love fibroblasts.
Create collagen. They are the makers of collagen, so the more the merrier. And vitamin C helps bind those fibrils together. So without it, you can't make dense collagen. And so when you're recovering from a laser procedure, you're building collagen, and then you have to have a lot of vitamin C in the area, and it really just helps recreate that structure in the skin, that firmness.
Yes, I was going to say, so when we start talking about dense collagen,
yes,
that equates to firmness in the skin.
Firmness.
We have a before and after of CE ferulic, if we could bring that up. What we found with CE ferulic and our 12-week clinical study was that we had this incredible result in even as little as 8 weeks. We had a 37% increase in firmness. Mm-hmm. We also saw this really, I guess, like you were talking about, this remodeling. So we were looking at the fine lines and the wrinkles being reduced by 27 and 36%. Mm-hmm. This is just in a 12-week study. Imagine if we were using this every single day for 12 months out of the year. What kind of result do you think we would see?
I have believers all throughout Birmingham, Alabama in this product. Yes.
Yeah.
And really the speed in which a patient sees an improvement is the main reason that we love SkinCeuticals, because it's very easy to comply with a program when you're seeing results so quickly.
Yes. You stay motivated.
You do. It's very motivating.
It is. And we know that a lot of times we want to have that rapid result to keep us coming back. And I think that that is also a really big benefit of coming to see someone in one of our flagships, because you always have the finger on the pulse about what's going on with that patient and how you can guide them through the next step.
Right.
Right. So we know that CE ferulic is the gold standard. We have received awards from we have medical journals that mention CE ferulic. We have magazines like Allure and bloggers and influencers. Everybody loves CE ferulic. And it is what put us on the map, as I mentioned, and it was Dr. Sheldon Pennell's research that really kind of established the foundation here. And then we introduced some additional antioxidant serums, because we know, as you mentioned, this may be for a more normal to drier skin, the person who's really focusing on the firmness, looking at those visible signs of aging. But for that individual who really wants to work on and focus on discoloration, uneven skin tone, I'm going to let you speak to the one that you love most.
My favorite. That's what's on my vanity.
It is Floritin CF. Tell us why you love Floritin.
I love Floritin because I love the texture of it. It dries quickly.
Take a look at that
while
you're talking about it. And how does it compare to CE ferulic for you?
I feel like it's a little less oily, less lighter, you know.
We don't have that vitamin E in here. So
right, no vitamin E.
Yes.
Yeah. It's great for somebody who, as you said, is concerned about discoloration. I have a tendency to freckle.
Oh, yes.
Actually, I started out before I was a dermatologist as a freckle face.
Really?
Yes, no one believes me.
What?
Yeah, I did.
Good work.
Face full of freckles.
Good work, Doc.
Yes, ma'am. But I just find that Floritin really helps those patients who are trying to prevent discoloration.
Right.
And so it has all the positives of CE ferulic, but it has this added boost for discoloration. And so that's why I find that I go to it. And I think in this practice, we sell as much Floritin as we do CE ferulic, believe it or not.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would imagine here in Alabama, where you have a lot of outdoorsmen and women who are out getting in the sun. If we talk about those ingredient differences, you mentioned that CE ferulic was maybe a little bit heavier. On the skin. So we have that 15% pure L-ascorbic acid in CE ferulic, and we also have 1% of our pure vitamin E, along with ferulic acid. And when we talked about our formulation standards, and what Dr. Sheldon Pennell found was that the synergistic blend of these antioxidants are really targeting very specific conditions. And so that's why we have this whole portfolio in front of us. So while we have the vitamin E here, the ferulic acid, and the L-ascorbic acid. And Fullerton, we lean a little bit more to having a little bit less of that L-ascorbic acid. So we have 10% of pure L-ascorbic acid. And we also have Fullerton, which comes from the skin of apples, to really help boost that antioxidant protection, but to also minimize that discoloration that's in the skin.
Yes.
Yeah. And ferulic acid is going to be that standard.
Right. Which helps vitamin C work better.
Yes. It powers it up, it recharges, and it just gives it that boost. I know you could talk about this. I know that you and I talked about how we just, we can't say which one we love better, right?
In the winter, I will find myself leaning more towards the CE ferulic.
Yeah, so we do that together.
Yes,
that's our thing. That's our little power thing. So CE ferulic for me, I use that fall, winter, and then I kind of work on focusing on my discoloration in the spring, summer with Fullerton CF.
That's when it happens.
It's a game changer.
Yes.
Yes. And so we have not forgotten those of you who are in a totally different category. So you may be saying to yourselves, I'm not dry. I don't really have a lot of signs of lack of firmness or fine lines and wrinkles. But what I am experiencing is at this age, I still have a lot of oil production and I have blemishes. Yeah, we were talking about your patients that come in and how distraught they feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
It's not fair at all. So we have a third antioxidant choice for those of you who fall in that category. We have saved the day. Again, everyone is an antioxidant patient. Everyone has an antioxidant answer from us today at SkinCeuticals for National Vitamin C Day. I want to talk a little bit about silymarin and why you like silymarin for that patient.
Well, there are lots of different kinds of acne. Primarily, the type that we deal with in this office is hormonal acne. Yes. But we can't forget these the younger patients that have genetic. You know, my mom and dad had acne, and now I have acne. And I think it's a great opportunity to get people started on an antioxidant earlier.
I do too.
And so here we are with a great choice. You know, they may not love CE ferulic because if they feel like they produce a lot of oil, it might be too heavy.
Yeah.
And so silymarin makes sense. There are also some really important findings in the latest research about what oil does in terms of aging. So
that
we
lipid
know
peroxidation.
Yes, those evil
a little bit.
those evil lipid peroxides. So having excess oil in the skin creates more free radicals, and when those lipids or those oils in the skin are oxidized, you get lipid peroxides, which are free radicals, which diminish antioxidants.
Yes.
So there's this terrible cycle going on where...
And when you have an oilier skin, you're already a little compromised with your antioxidant protection naturally.
Right.
So now you've got more things competing for that skin.
Right. And inflammation, which causes a blemish.
Absolutely. Which we're trying to avoid.
Right. The very thing we're trying to eliminate.
So we'll see this recurring theme. We have our L-ascorbic acid, pure L-ascorbic acid. Let's remember that P for purity. In this formulation for silymarin CF, of course, we are introducing the milk thistle plant silymarin, right? We're going to help reduce that lipid peroxidation in the skin. We also have our beloved ferulic acid, again, to help stabilize, recharge that L-ascorbic acid. And we have the benefit of having some salicylic acid in here.
It's a great ingredient.
Great ingredient. It's going to decongest. It's going to help with some of those textural issues. I want to go back to Fullerton CF for just a second because there's something that I wanted to mention besides the fact that it's just great for discoloration. I also wanted to mention how it has been clinically studied on all Fitzpatricks.
Right.
Yes. So in this 12-week study, in about as little as 8 weeks, we're starting to see some improvement in that excess color. And for those people who are really feeling like going down that road of treating that excess color, it can feel really heavy sometimes, like they're never going to reach the goal. And what we saw was a 20% reduction in that color, in that unevenness in skin tone on all Fitzpatricks. Can you speak to us about why that's so important?
Well, anybody with a darker skin type knows that if they have any kind of trauma to the skin, whether it's an oven burn, an insect bite, really a blemish,
I've been there.
Anything is going to leave a stain on the skin. So any trauma to the skin. So I really think that calming part of the Floritin, the soothing, the fruit bark extract, and that is really important. A lot of times they get prescribed bleaching creams for this, but the bleaching cream can bleach the background skin.
Yes, it can.
And so I really think that attacking it from this anti-inflammatory standpoint is much better.
It's very clever. And it really speaks to, again, that synergistic blend. It's what we've gone through thousands and thousands of studies and testing different combinations. And what we found is that each one of these will address all of these concerns and all of these conditions. Again, if you are tuning in, we are here celebrating National Vitamin C Day with the lovely Dr. Sarah Sawyer. She's been such an amazing co-host. Her facility here at Dermatology and Laser in Alabama is simply breathtaking.
Thank you.
Yes, it is. And it is warm, it's welcoming. It feels just like that Southern comfort in Alabama. We are super excited to be here. And you have an extra special gift that you are giving to the first 20 people. So we are really into our broadcast now. And those of you who join us for ProLIVE, you know this time goes by very quickly. I hope as you've been taking in all of this fabulous information from Dr. Sawyer and learning about National Vitamin C Day and all about SkinCeuticals, that you've been dropping your antioxidant of choice into your cart, because we don't have a lot of time today, but that is such a generous offer of the first 20 people to come into this practice right here, our first flagship in Alabama, in the whole of Alabama.
Yes, ma'am.
Not just in Birmingham. But if you're in the Birmingham area, we want you to come on in, but it's only while supplies last. So I'm not going to tell you what that extra special gift is, because it's a treat from Dr. Sawyer.
Surprise.
It's a surprise.
That's right.
But we'll just tell you that it's probably skin related. Yeah,
Definitely
that's fair.
skin related. Yes.
Okay, so again, for any of you who are looking at the exclusive offer, the only thing that we're asking you today, this evening, is to pick your science. Pick your antioxidant of choice. CE ferulic is going to be for our anti-aging. Floritin CF, your personal favorite is going to be for discoloration and for that uneven skin tone. And Silymarin CF is going to be for the oily, blemish-prone individual who's looking to really transform the texture of the skin, reduce the oil peroxidation, the lipid peroxidation, and to really have this preventative step. Beautiful. We also have, and I just want to share AOX plus eye gel. And actually, I'm going to put it on your finger. Which finger do you use to apply your?
Let's put it on my ring finger.
You want to put it on your ring finger? Okay.
Yes.
I want you to just sample that and let our viewers see just how very light and lovely this is. And so one of the things that we love about AOX eye gel, this really groundbreaking technology, we have this really, it feels very
light,
hydrating,
soft.
Yes, it just kind of glides on the eye area. This delicate tissue in the eye area often goes untreated, but is often first noticed.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
We always talk a lot about not bringing these antioxidants up into the eye area. You want to speak to why we don't want to do that?
The skin's about 10 times thinner in the eye area, and muscles are constantly moving, pulling on the skin. I hear a lot of people complain about looking tired, or they see wrinkles. These products are wonderful products, but they are a little too much for the eye area.
And
a little bit much.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to be you have to experience it to be a believer. I can speak to my own delicate tissue that got a little parched at one point.
Yes.
And actually, antioxidant or AOX plus eye gel reversed that irritation.
Yes.
So we're following still those Duke parameters of formulation, but we're just doing in lower concentration. We still have that pure L-ascorbic acid, but in 5% concentration.
A little bit lower.
A little bit lower. We're also going to introduce that Floritin that we just talked about for brightening. And it's also a wonderful antioxidant that just pairs so nicely with L-ascorbic acid. And then we have some caffeine to help with that microcirculation. That puffiness might be reduced.
Yes.
Yes, that eyes look brighter.
I think it really helps with dark circles too.
I do too.
I think it protects because it's not going to be as pigmented, and then it also helps clear that pigmentation.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we always see this additional benefit, even though we are positioning these as that preventative step, we see that additional benefit all the time from all of our antioxidant serums. And then speaking of delicate tissue, we also have antioxidant lip repair. Now, I'm going to just tell you, this one is really, really, really high on my list. Have you tried this one?
Yes.
What do you like about this?
I really like the hydration it provides in the skin. It feels like, now it's not a lip balm, so it doesn't have that greasy
heavy,
that heaviness to it, but it is really nice, dries quickly. And it also has that hyaluronic acid.
It does.
That really helps smooth the skin.
Yes.
It works well with fillers.
It does. Yes, I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yes, the lip fillers we have just been going bonkers in this practice with lip fillers.
Yes.
I think it was the masks. I think everybody that wanted to try it thought this was a great opportunity. But we're conservative with those. I don't try to cram so much injectable HA in there that it that it helps things. Yes, I'm fairly conservative. And I really feel like this is a great product that helps sort of take up the rest of that where the filler stops.
Yes. And we have, again, that antioxidant protection. This time we are leaning more on our silymarin and our vitamin E. You mentioned the hyaluronic acid. We're going to really see that hydroxyurea.
Woo!
I got it out. We're going to see that help to texturize and smooth out the skin. And then we're dumping in all of this hydration. Just a beautiful, beautiful product.
I really like how the company uses the urea.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really, it's such a great ingredient. One of my favorites.
It is. It's a beautiful one because it's really nice and gentle, but you get that smoothness that follows. And then we want to talk a little bit about using an antioxidant at night. So this is why we've included this deluxe sample of resveratrol BE. Why is it important to have that if we're using these during the day? Do we need a nighttime one?
Well, it works while you're asleep. So despite all of the prevention that we use during the day, it's not perfect.
Right.
And there is a lot of damage. Now, while we sleep, we know that we repair a lot of free radical damage. And this is just another way to do it in the skin. It also has a really calming effect. It's got the bacolin, which is really calming. It's from skullcap, which we know is a very calming. We use it in arthritis. We use that as a supplement to calm other inflammation. So I really like that product. A lot of people can use it as a nighttime, almost like a moisturizer. You don't always need a moisturizer after that. And it's really great for so many different skin types. Resveratrol also provides building blocks for your skin's own antioxidants. So
we love that.
We're
hearing that building blocks
it's helping out in so many ways.
Absolutely. I just love the way it feels on the skin. I feel as if we kind of jokingly say we reverse it all at night.
I like that.
When we use our resveratrol BE, it's so suitable, like you said, for so many different skin types. You don't need an extra moisturizer for some people. You can use it alongside with your retinol. There's so many benefits for using this to restore, repair, rebuild at night while we're also preventing. And then we're going to put all of these lovely products in our gold bag. And then we're going to also have that gift card that gives you that $25 towards a targeted treatment, SkinCeuticals targeted treatment, when people come see people like you.
Great.
I think our producers probably have some questions for us. We are flying through this time so quickly. It's been such a joy. Thank you.
So yes, I do have a question. So the first question is, can I use these sets with retinol?
Oh, we were just talking about retinol. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, most certainly. We are going to use our antioxidant serum of choice, CE ferulic, for anti-aging. We're going to use Floritin CF for discoloration, and again, Silymarin CF for those who have that oily, blemish-prone skin. But at night, these are our preventative steps. At night, using our retinol, we get that fantastic gold standard for correction. I would say this is our gold standard for prevention, and retinol gold standard for our correction step.
Perfect. Yes. And I do have time for one more question. And the question is, does an antioxidant take the place of my SPF?
I'm going to let Dr. Sawyer talk about that because she was talking so much about how she really loves Daily Brightening UV Defense SPF 30.
They're a great pair, and one does not replace the other. The vitamin C is going to add about 8 times the protection of a sunscreen alone. And it's also going to help prevent, so when light does get through the sunscreen, and we know that it does, it immediately blankets that area to stop that free radical damage from occurring.
And so for tonight, we have really covered from the top of the face down to the décolleté for every skin type, every skin condition, every skin concern, every skin hue. We've taken everything into consideration: daytime, nighttime, eyes, lips.
You've got it all.
We've got it all. Well, it has been such an amazing and very quick very quick time tonight. We want you to go to SkinCeuticals.com, and where you can chat with a professional, but we also would like for you to go and find physician partners like Dr. Sarah Sawyer, who's here at Dermatology and Laser here in Birmingham, Alabama. You can go to the physician locator and type in your zip code, and you will see the aesthetic professionals in your area, particularly, what did you call the dermatologist?
Core specialist.
Core specialist. You will find a core specialist like Dr. Sawyer. We want to give you a little bit time to shop, because unless you're coming in here, the first 20 people coming in here to get one of these exclusive offers from Dr. Sawyer personally, where you're going to get that additional gift, unless you're not that person, you only have a few minutes more to celebrate National Vitamin C Day with us here at SkinCeuticals. Yay! It's been amazing. People who are here, local, or people like me, I'm in Atlanta, I would happily come and see you. It's a 2-hour drive.
Highway 20.
Highway 20 all the way through the Talladega Forest. How will we get in touch with you?
Well, we are on Facebook and Instagram, but the easiest way is birminghamskin.com. That's our website.
birminghamskin.com. Love it. Straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
We know how to get to you. Well, any closing words you want to share?
I just think knowledge is power. And if you're tuning in tonight, you're already seeking a lot of knowledge. So, but I would just say to get more knowledge, it's best to partner, find a skincare professional that you trust, and follow their lead and just take it from there. And I think that, like I said, just being here tonight is a great start. And this is certainly a great way to get started on SkinCeuticals if this is your first time.
Well, thank you. You have been an amazing co-host.
Oh, thank you.
I have enjoyed you immensely.
Well, it's great to have you here.
Thank you for being your antioxidant authority. We relish in the fact that we are the antioxidant authority, and that we have had a great National Vitamin C Day here at SkinCeuticals. Thank you for joining us. Tune in next time, but we are going to let you shop for just a few minutes more. It's been amazing. Good night.
Bye-bye.